Okay, so it's time for Walking Dead now, and this episode was pretty good for a couple of reasons. I don't want to go too far in depth with this episode, but it may end up in depth anyway. Because this was sort of deep, and the first thing I want to point out is I applaud the friggin' authors for making a reference to a character that I forgot about so many friggin' times, and then I was like, oh yeah, he existed, and that was Dale. And the reference was obviously the van where or the whatever the trailer where Glenn knew about the battery, and everyone was like, "Where the hell did you find that thing? How do you know that about that thing?" I know that's not how Abraham talks, but um, I don't know. I'm racist. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so I thought that was sick that that was brought back. Like it's like, oh yeah, we're acknowledging that Glenn or not Glenn, that Dale existed, and here's a reference to him because it's been like fucking 3 seasons since we've seen him because he died in the middle of season 2, mind you. I mean, he died before Shane, man. I mean, Shane gets some references here and there, but fucking Andrea doesn't get any. Like, I know I'm gonna go off on a tangent again. I always go off on a tangent in Walking Dead. It's like there's so many characters that have died and there's like fairly any mentions of them. Hardly. I mean Herschel gets some all the time because Maggie's still up. Um, like Jim, obviously, yeah, fuck Jim. I mean he was whatever. He was early. Merle, yo, what the fuck about Merle? I mean that was Daryl's freaking brother, who he was very sad. I mean there's no mention of Merle. There's no mention. I mean there's yeah, like I said, there's plenty of mentions of Herschel. But I mean he died very recently. Um, all things considered. There was. I mean, nobody died in Terminus, right? No. Obviously, there was Beth. I mean, we obviously still have mentions of Beth because she died in this season. Bob, there was a mention of Bob this episode, which was okay. Um, who else fucking died? It's like you forget about him. Like, I think I went over Shane, right? Yeah. Um, I said Andrea. Andrea doesn't really. I mean, people have forgotten about her, and I'm gonna say this right now. And go on record and say I don't think Andrea is that bad. Where a lot of people are like, "Oh, Andrea's a bitch." I mean, I can see why you would say that, but I honestly didn't mind her that much. One of the reasons was she was the only one to back up Shane, who was right for a lot of the time. He was part of the group, and she was able to hold her own. She learned how to shoot so she could protect the group and shit. So honestly, I thought she wasn't that bad. In season 3, she was all right. In season 3, she's a little fuck, you know. And but I felt bad for her because like she was so close to coming back and she got kidnapped. Like, oh come on, that was bullshit in my opinion. And then somebody who is physically weaker than her, was able to overpower her and bite her. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Um, but okay, I went off on a long tangent with Andrea. Nobody's talked about Laurie. Fuck that bitch. Yo, you want to talk about Andrea? Fuck, this bitch was horrible. Horrible. She should have died in season 2 instead of Shane. And then Shane and Rick made up, man. That would have been shit. Um, but yeah, I guess that's enough of that. Um, yeah, nobody talks about Liz and her little sister. I forget her name. Um, but yeah, so into the actual episode itself, fuck. Um, let's see what the hell happened. Oh, the guy Aaron, and he got knocked the fuck out by a brick. I mean, that was a nice fucking punch. They looked through his bags, found a flare gun. I mean, that was pretty cool. Um, the applesauce scene was okay. whatever. It's like you eat. I fucking hate applesauce. No, I don't think he has an accent. You think he sounds? I guess he has an accent. I think he has an east, like a northern accent, like mine. He didn't. I just assume everybody sounds like a bad cowboy or something. So, um, Rick is Rick, and he, he doesn't trust him for obvious fucking reasons. We shouldn't either. Um, and I guess really the last thing. Okay, there's a couple things. There was, whatever gay relationship. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to really. I don't even want to cover it because it's just there. It's fine. Whatever. It doesn't impact the story either way. Um, there was a scene where I thought maybe Glenn was gonna die. Like he smashed the guy or smashed the walker against the ground, and then the music stopped, and I'm like, this would be the perfect time for a walker to just come out of nowhere and scare the shit out of us and Glenn and fight him. But nah, he made it through. I mean, I'm glad. Um, I mean, they almost got killed. That was some shit there. And, I mean, I guess that's about it. Michonne, I mean, she's just so hell bent on defying Rick that she just starts to bark orders now. Like, I, I don't know. I don't think I like Michonne this way. She's fine, but I think she's going too far. Like, she's eventually, if she keeps doing this, she's eventually going to get fucked by Rick. I mean, not literally, but, you know, something's going to happen to her, I think, if she keeps being like this. And Carol, I mean, Carol summed up my thoughts completely on Rick at the very end. Even though you were wrong, you were right. And that makes perfect sense, and I agree with that. Even though he was wrong, he was right. And what that means is that even though the outcome was not what he thought it was, he was absolutely right for thinking the way he did. And I agree. So yeah, I guess that'll be it. It was I guess it was a good episode for character progression and a little bit of drama as well as a little bit of action, a little suspense. The night scene. By the way, one more thing before I go was I hate night scenes. Do you know why? It's because the lighting is fucking awful. It's awful. Like I know what they're trying to do, but it's more frustrating than it is suspenseful. I don't know about you guys, but I'm trying to watch what's going on. I'm not trying to be in the dark of what's happening and just seeing glimpses. The lighting is awful, and I hate that. I really do. I don't think I don't care what kind of atmosphere you have, whether it's a scary environment. You should be able to see everything that is going on, unless it's something that's being hidden on purpose. For instance, somebody's hiding in the shadows, but nothing like that was going on in the night scenes. So like when day breaks, I'm always like, oh thank God. So yeah, that's it. Um, I know I went off on a lot of tangents. I do that in Walking Dead. Not almost nothing else I do this in, but whatever. So yeah, I guess it was a good episode for what its aim was.